Hey guys, still back attack month, Operation Back Attack over at Reddit BJJ. This week we're looking at maintaining the back, and there's a couple, there's 4 techniques that I like to use to maintain the back. They all chain together really nicely, really easily. They flow really well. I picked them up when I was doing Marshal Garcia's book. They've been money for my back game. It's been really easy for me to maintain back and keep attacking with these techniques. So I'm going to go over those in this week's video. First thing we're going to look at is if Paul's turtled up here. This is where things start to go sour for most people. So I'm going to have one hook in. So I got my right hook in here. I'm over top, put my seatbelt in. Got my near arm, same side of the hook, going over his shoulder, my forearm going underneath, and I'm grabbing my wrist with my underarm. So I'm grabbing right here, instead of right here. I want to go, always going to grab the top arm. So in this position, a lot of people are attacking the back mount from this position. Paul's going to be really tight, his elbow's going to be in. So if I start trying to sling my hook over, like a lot of people are kind of prone to do, especially at the lower levels, I start slinging my hook over, Paul's going to start tucking and start taking me over his shoulder. We'll start sliding off. We'll start sliding off into the guard here. So I'm going to start slipping over the back. So I don't want to play that game. I don't want to play that game where I'm trying to get right up really high on Paul and start falling forward here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep my leg out like this, keep a little pressure on it here. So keep a little pressure into Paul, just kind of maintaining my position. Then to take Paul's back, I'm actually going to do one kind of like a forward roll. But the key to the forward roll here is, and I'll show you this detail in just a second, the hook that's inside here, my right foot, I'm going to dig those toes into the mat and push forward on Paul first. I'm going to drive same direction as his head. A lot of people, they kind of start rolling sideways. They try to flip him over that way. Paul's base is too good, that's not going to work. So I need to go forward first, and then using my seatbelt, get that roll going. So let's do that one more time. Let's keep that way just a little bit more, just for the sake of the camera here. Here, I'm pushing Paul forward first, going towards his head. And then just going to, once he starts stretching out, then I'm going to tuck my right shoulder and roll him down here, okay? Now the detail is, the paws need to be here, just to see this. This bottom foot, when I'm up on top of Paul, I'm digging my toes in the mat just like this, okay? So if we're behind here, I've got this foot inside, I'm digging those toes in the mat, so I'm going to push forward and then roll Paul over, okay? So that's the first technique I look for. If Paul's turtled up, I'm going to hit that roll forward. So what's going to happen next, once I get Paul on his side here, I'm just going to pop on his side. Is Paul's going to pull that knee to his chest. So he doesn't want that second hook coming in. Okay, even if you're super flexible, if this guy's good at getting his knee to his elbow here, very difficult for me to get that foot in. So to get that second hook set, I'm going to cross my ankles down here. And we don't ever cross our ankles here because Paul's just going to ankle lock me here. But if I'm underneath of his leg, it's safe. So as you cross my ankles right here, hold my seatbelt nice and tight. Every time you're holding the seatbelt, keep your head tucked in, keep your chest tight to his upper back. And then in this position, I'm just going to kind of stretch everything out. Pulling with my seatbelt, stretching with my legs. Here. Very difficult for him to resist. There's a lot of power here. Boom, set my second hook. Okay, pretty simple. So the ball crunches back up again. Just going to take my back foot, go underneath his leg, cross my ankle here. And I'm just going to keep everything tight and stretch it out. Boom. Set that hook in. Okay? So now for some reason though, if Paul tucks his knee in and I don't get time to stretch, he starts going back up to his knees, I'm going to do my forward roll again. I'm just going to just dip, dump it back over, and go right back into the series. Okay? There's 2 more techniques that you're going to need to maintain back mount. And they all chain together here. So the third one, we've done 2 so far. We've done the roll and we've done the crank. The third one, Paul hops back in here. Common defense, especially if the guy's bigger than you, they're going to start going up onto their back, up onto their shoulders, kind of flattening your back out on the mat. So actually, put both your feet on the mat. Yeah, they're going to come up like this. Okay? So when this starts happening here, so let's kind of rotate. When he starts pushing that weight back up on top of you, if he's bigger than you, this is a lot of weight to deal with. It's going to be really difficult to get to the choke if he starts pushing his shoulders high. It's hard to get to his neck at this point. It's going to be really tough, especially if he's going towards his foot where you don't have a hook. He's going to start popping out of this. So as soon as your opponent starts going up here, okay, whether or not, if you have this hook in, you got to take it out. If you don't have it in, just start using it. And take this foot out, go underneath the Paul's knee here, just hook it. I'm going to dip my shoulders to the right and kick his leg into the air. Boom. Pop it over. And then I go back into my crank, set my hook in if I need to. So let's do that one more time. Sorry about the angles here, guys. It's a very three-dimensional game we got going on. So Paul starts going up, hook out, hook his knee, kick him into the air, guide over here. So now he's back on the side. He's on his side, it's really easy to keep fighting the back mount here. I can stretch him out if I need to, set my hook again. So anytime you feel your opponent start to rotate his hips up, pop that hip out, pop that hip out, pop that hook out, hook his knee, flip him over. Even if Paul's just starting to shrimp on me, even if Paul's just starting to just hook it right away, dump it. So if he's here, he's starting to shrink away a little bit, hook. Keep those hips turned. If you can keep those hips parallel with your hips in this position here, you have a lot easier time maintaining the back mount. Okay, number 4. Appreciate you guys sticking around this long. So let's get over here. This one's really simple. So if I'm on my side here, a lot of times, especially wrestler types, they're really good at dominating one arm. He's gonna get like a 2-on-1 here, and he'll start pushing it towards that far wall here, and duck his head underneath of it, and beat it this way. And then he'll start turning into me, and it's gonna be bad news pretty quickly because I've kind of lost my seatbelt at this point. Yeah, it's not good. So as soon as you feel your overhook being dominated, you gotta protect it. So if I'm here, let's get a little lower Paul. So if I'm here, and Paul starts dominating this arm, I can't let him get it all the way out. If he gets it all the way above his head, I've lost back mount here. This is really bad news for me. So as soon as I feel somebody dominating my arm, I'm going to tuck my elbow underneath my body. Here. Let's get my weight on top of it. Still underneath Paul's head. It's a shallow overhook at this point, but it's very difficult for Paul to dominate now because all my weight is laying on the arm. So at this point, I can start pummeling this hand in, start stripping this out. I can punch this back through, get it nice and deep again, and reset my position. So I'm going to do that all the time. As soon as I feel like I'm losing this hand fight here, boom, pop up. Get tight. Sometimes I'll grab his shoulder right here, just to kind of hang on to this if I need to, if I can. And as soon as I feel like I can get my hands inside, start stripping these grips off, just going to punch that arm back through and dip back down into my overhook control. Okay? So one more time. Just up on that elbow. Just kind of bring your whole shoulders up and start driving your chest into his upper back. Nice and tight here. As soon as that weight's on your elbow, it's too much weight for his arms to deal with. It's very difficult for him to force that position anymore. Then you just kind of slide back in as you need to. So those 4 techniques, you gotta trigger drill them so you can always use them in anytime the situation arises. You need to always just bounce between those 4 techniques to maintain your back mount. You'd be surprised how frustrated your opponent gets, and when he gets frustrated, his neck starts opening up. You start setting that rear naked choke. So start drilling those positions and start really playing with them. So you'll feel like your back control really goes through the roof. It's a big game changer. At least it was for me. I appreciate you stopping to check out this video. Hope you're enjoying the blog. Hope you're checking out Reddit BJJ. See you guys next week.